streaming, and then wait, chat's not working because it's always not working.
Never works.
But then if I click this and this and this,
Then it works.
ta-da! The chat is working. You'd think that would be, I don't know. It's free software, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. You'd think it would be free software, and is.
It is. It is free software.
It is free software.
Hello, everybody. We're back, starting a little early tonight, which we promise to do whenever we can. We actually kind of got together on time more so than we usually do. So
Yeah.
I have eaten. Kyle might be eating a little bit during the stream.
Yep.
So
I'm
if
sure
you
I'll
hear any
advertise.
slurping or snorting, that's what's going on over there.
That's how I eat. That's how I do it.
Just slurping.
Mostly snorting these days.
Snorting?
I like to snort my food
Mm-hmm.
because that's what noses are for.
Mm-hmm. So what can we say about last week? It was a tremendously good game. A little salt in there.
There was some salt.
I was very tired, so I didn't really get into that game, but it was a really good game,
Right.
and I appreciated it when I reviewed it.
Right.
And I really thought I was going to have played horribly because I was also very tired,
Right.
but I actually kind of played okay, too.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, when we're really tired, sometimes we certainly make some absurdly bad plays, but sometimes we, at this point, playing is almost muscle memory in some ways.
In some cases. Yeah.
So we simply get saltier or appreciate things less, but that doesn't mean that we deliver a terrible show of our skill at playing a game.
The other thing to mention is Kyle accused me of misspeaking last week. He
That's
said
true.
that
I did make a bold accusation.
What was the word? Circumstantial.
Circumstantial.
With a D.
With a D.
And I thought that was an absolutely absurd assertion. But on reviewing the tape, it kind of sounds like I said circumstantial. So I don't know where that came from.
Just so we're clear, you did say it was an absurd assertion.
Did I? Sweet.
So we're getting that out of the way.
You may notice a theme.
Tonight may be a good night of something.
Of something.
It'll be a good night of something.
All right, so what are we doing?
So
you picked out you have 5 decks.
Well, I got out a lot of decks. It's tricky. So
real quick, the other thing I'm going to mention is I did notice, and it took me. We're on. I think this is stream number 9.
Oh wow!
We might be on 9.
We're getting close to double figures.
And it took me this long to notice that your setup, for the purposes of the stream, the way you arrange your cards is much better than mine. And I'm going to copy you tonight.
I see.
And that is the rear of your play area is all resources, and then above your resources you have your deck, and then above your deck you have your KO'd pile, and that's just better in a lot of ways. All right, so I'm gonna do that.
Excellent.
It'll make my life dice more visible.
My brilliant
my
planning.
KO'd pile less visible, but it's unimportant. My resources more visible.
Yeah.
So all kinds of good stuff.
I admit that I sometimes maybe this wasn't the case last stream. I think I sometimes set my KO'd pile off stream, which is maybe not great. It's arguably the least interacted with pile.
Yeah, it's probably the thing we don't need to show the most.
Yeah.
As in more so than anything else.
Yeah.
It's not important if it's not shown.
Circumstantially, and we reveal I think things when it is relevant for sure.
Am I picking decks?
Yeah, we'll get to that point. I'm just giving each just a quick shuffle. So I do have 5 decks. There are 3 of them are from the AA category. That doesn't necessarily mean we need to play multiples from the AA.
Well, both of us, you and I combined, have the most AAs.
That's very true.
To pair off against each other.
Yeah.
I said that slightly imprecisely. I have the same number of A's as I have AAs. So that is not true. However,
the overlap
among the sets that we both have lots of, the AAs are the winners in that category.
That's true. So you get the most permutations from that. I definitely, I definitely have the fewest. I'm very light on A's,
and I'm light on S's.
And you're light on S's.
Although, whenever I add an S, you guys get salty about it.
That's true. Just the ones that exhaust my whole team all the time.
I do have some really good S's, but that's what S is for.
That's true.
That's an argument we could have made last week when we played that crazy S game.
Yeah.
Is that maybe S is the category that has no upper limit, which just means that it's just there's some broader and occasional mismatches in there.
That could be so. And, you know, certainly there are mismatches and things that are possible at all levels of the game. So,
oh, and in case you're not reading the chat, I was super confused last week. As I said, I was super tired shuffling your decks, and by that I mean shuffling decks. I was super tired last week, and shush. I made a big deal about it. I wrote it in the chat. I said it 3 or 4 times that we were not streaming this week. Well, surprise! Here we are. I was like super confused.
It was great.
We're not streaming next week.
Okay.
And that's in the chat, and I'm telling you now. This week's we're here.
Yes.
In case you didn't know that.
Yes, we're here
next
now.
Next week we're not.
They might not know that. Yes. No. So next week.
Well, nobody knows where we are at any time.
It's true. This is the deck that is selected. This deck is. This is one of the double A's.
Okay.
Which is
I shall roll a double A, vetoing the deck that I played last week, which I think was Insanity. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I do believe you played Insanity last week. So yeah, this, I think one of these decks, which is the S one, may not have been on the stream yet. I think all the others have been on the stream, but I think they're less played or didn't do their thing, and this is in that latter category.
I picked another deck you don't like, but I think it's a lot more fair than the other deck that we played last week that you don't like. So
that's like an accomplishment. Let's see what we got.
Here you go, sir.
We have a Spectrum. Watch out, maybe you picked Vertigo.
Is that a double A?
It is.
Oh, well.
I'm just saying it's a possibility. I'm not
yes,
saying
that's true.
It's this one.
That's a double A?
Yeah, it's one of my weaker double A's.
Is that?
All you can remember about it is that it's Vertigo. She's the worst thing.
Right, that's not the. You have to have a stun character to do anything.
That's the one.
That's a double A.
Yeah.
Those powers are so good.
Well, they are, but it's
you have to. All right.
Yeah,
fair enough.
High power, high threshold. And I should have life dice. And you recommended that I specifically use either black and white or white and black.
I have been noticing our black and white dice come through on the stream pretty good. Yeah. The green and red dice, which are the other pair we have, not as much.
You have won the roll.
Let me think. These guys, I think these guys are evens. Is that right? Yeah, maybe.
I am going to mulligan. I did play these guys. I remember before. I think I played these guys once on the stream, and they did a really strange thing that wasn't what they're supposed to do.
It's not a good opening hand, but there's some useful stuff in here that I'd rather not have to draw into. So I'm going to hang on to it, and we'll see if we can make something of it. It is not improving.
So noted. Well, I'm sorry. Did you go odds or evens?
I went evens.
All right. I do not have a 1-drop.
I also do not have a 1-drop.
Well, that was a great first turn.
All right.
Turn number 2. All right. So I'm already going to play a card that has not seen play on the stream. That makes me happy. It is your initiative, however.
I am going to recruit Malice.
Wunderbar.
Malice Wunderbar is on 1/4 with range, and her power is whenever another character comes into play under my control, I may replace target non-team up, plot twist, an opponent controls.
I'm actually a little alarmed because I feel like this might have been the matchup that we had, which seems unlikely, but it's a memorable matchup. We'll see.
I think the last time you faced this deck, whatever deck you were playing didn't do anything, so it could be.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, though.
Well, I guess we'll see. We are at 9.
We are at 9.
The 9th stream. I have Screet. Whenever we haven't seen Screet actually even off stream in a while.
I remember that picture. She's an annoying ping.
She does ping.
She doesn't come up often, and once she came up and she just pinged me for friggin' ever.
Well,
and it was so obnoxious.
I have good news. She's probably not going to ping you forever, but she's probably going to ping you. Whenever Screet becomes stunned while visible, move her to your hidden area, and target opponent loses 4 endurance. So it's a good ping, but it's just a one-off.
Oh.
She is a 2/3 with flight.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess I gotta do it. I'm gonna attack her.
Okay.
With Malice. I also am going to reveal that I have Apocalypse. Apocalypse's power is activate. Choose a player. Target Darkseid's elite attacker you control gets plus X attack this attack, where X is the number of face-down resources that player controls. I'm going to be choosing Kyle.
Why would you do a thing like that? Yep, so you are +2. That's going to work. I'm not going to flip anything. So I will be stunned.
But I'm going to take
for
4.
2. She was instantly moved hidden. But I take 2. So it's a net gain for me, but...
maybe she just stuck around and hit me or something. She did something annoying.
She'll be annoying, I'm sure.
That character was annoying. I recall that.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is a strange draw.
I'm having a weird one myself.
How do I do this? Yep. Alright. Well, I am formed.
Oh dear. Well, I'm going to do the maximum jerkiness.
Yep.
Which is to recruit Guillotina.
Yep.
Whenever Guillotina causes breakthrough to a player, that player loses an addition. That player loses an additional 1 endurance for each face-down resource he controls.
That sucks. All right.
You do have initiative.
I do, so I'm going to play from my hand. Invasion plans. Play only during my attack step. Exhaust a character I control to draw 2 cards. Yoink.
This is a good card. You have that in a lot of decks.
I do.
You're not going to do anything, huh?
I'm going to take like 12 damage.
Well, I'm going to team attack you for 5, and I'm going to boost Guillotina's attack by the amount of face-down resources you control.
3. And then I will take an additional 3 from her.
Bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. This is also not. This is a very weak matchup for this deck. It's funny. I swear we always get it. It's.
Well, if you want to show it off, I can roll somebody else.
Let me see. I might be able to do some flipping. So how does your 2-drop work again? What is the condition?
Malice is when another character comes into play under my control.
And you replace it.
Replace non-team up, face up, plot twist. I think non-ongoing even.
It's just a face up plot twist.
It doesn't say non-ongoing. It just says non-team up, face up.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's not a good initiative. Wanna flip anything? I would save myself so much damage if I flipped stuff. 2 damage per thing.
There's 2 per. 2 per. Duper.
Hooper. Tuper duper. Boy, it's such a high cost. I'm gonna flip a negative zone. Flip this card a card.
Yes, this was the matchup. I'm pretty sure.
It's always. I don't know why it always works out
funny.
this way.
I rolled. I did roll.
I know. So this negative zone says to flip discarded card. At the start of the recovery phase, gain 1 endurance for each stunned opposing character in play, which currently is none.
Let me look at this card briefly.
Yep. Go ahead. Look at that card.
Okay.
And then I guess I'm going to do another one.
Well, at least you got, like, last time. I think it went wrong last time because you drew no
negative zones. Yeah, that's exactly so.
I kind of remember that.
So, both negative zones are the same. It's worth noting that negative zone is a non-unique location, so I may flip as many negative zones as I wish. This particular negative zone has the version Harvester of Sorrows. They both read the same thing. So for every stunned opposing character you have at the start of every recovery phase, I gain 1 endurance.
That's scary. That's going to add up.
And then I'm still going to take a lot for so it's
just 2 extra then, right?
Right. 1 for the breakthrough.
Right.
And 1 for the so that's 6, 7, 8. I mean, it's still 8, but it's not 12.
Yes.
So cool. I'm
Yay.
still at 40. That was my initiative, unfortunately. So that's not so hot, but
Well, stick with it.
Yep.
My draw is.
Yep.
A draw.
Yep.
It's pretty friggin' weird.
Yeah.
It's like super weird.
Yeah. This is interesting.
My initiative, huh?
Is, yeah.
Well, I'm going to recruit Lashina. Lashina is a 3/6 3-drop with range. Her power is Activate. Target a non-ongoing plot twist an opponent controls. You may put a character card from your hand face down into his resource row. If you do, KO that plot twist and he loses endurance equal to its cost.
Interesting. I am going to recruit Centurions.
Ooh.
The Centurions say at the start of the combat phase, if negative zone is not in play, I must discard a card. Also, they cannot be stunned while attacking.
I'll make you sad.
They're going to get thrashed for sure.
I'm going to attack them with Guillotina. And I'm going to activate Apocalypse, and I'm going to do something I usually don't do with Apocalypse, which is target me.
Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty viable. So your attack is 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I'm going to get stunned. I do stun you back.
That's correct.
I will take 3 breakthrough and 4 for the stun. 3 and 4 is 7, because addition.
And then you will be pinged.
And then I'm pinged for
your face down.
2 more. Okay.
And then I'm going to activate Malice Wunderbar to play Omega Effect.
Oh no.
As an additional cost to play Omega Effect, exhaust a Darkseid's elite character you control. Remove target stunned character an opponent controls from the game. If you exhausted a character named Darkseid, that opponent loses 1 endurance for each face-up resource he controls.
At least I don't get pinged harder. Though I will get attacked for 3 more. I will pass.
If you're going to pass, I am going to attack you for 3 more.
Alright, 28.
One-sided, quite.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I do, however, gain 2 life, so I'm back up to 30. Right? That's right. Be afraid.
I'm not very.
Be afraid.
You never know.
Yep. Well, I do have a Nihilus. He's pretty cool, at least. When he enters play, if negative zone is not in play, exhaust him. I can also activate him to stun target hidden character, which I can only do during my attack step.
I will be recruiting Darkseid.
Yeah.
Whenever Darkseid stuns a character, its controller loses 1 endurance for each face-down resource he controls.
Yeah. Well, that's something, isn't it? Isn't it something? Not entirely ecstatic about this outcome. Wish you hadn't stunned the Centurions, and by that I mean stunned them and immediately removed them from the game.
Did remove from the game.
Did remove from the game. What the hell can I do here?
It'd be smarter to put my life base here.
Sure wish I had that thing I don't have.
That's better.
Guillotina is extra damage. Lashina is get rid of plot twists.
Plot twists. Yep.
And so is Malice.
Yes.
Whew.
Malice can target non-ongoing. Lashina cannot.
Malice can target non-ongoing. Right.
can target teams.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna target. Can that be used on attack or defense?
No, just attack.
Okay. Well, I think I have to attack Guillotina. 410.
There's something you can do. I have a cool card in my hand I don't often play. I might not. That attack makes it not very useful.
Negative zone. Do some cool stuff. Do some cool stuff.
That's. I might.
Mm-hmm.
I might reinforce and pass.
Yep, that thought had crossed my mind.
I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to reinforce.
Yep.
Take 3.
Yep. Boy, that showed you. So you pass. Is that correct?
I can do that thing, but it's much less valuable. But it's not valuable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it could get me in trouble later.
Ooh, I like that. That's my favorite part of your current plan that you're theorizing about. I like that part, one might say. Maybe I would say. Maybe I said.
But I'm not using Darkseid for anything, so I may as well use him for the craziness.
This is terrifying. What is going on? You're not using your gigantic 9/9 with tons of endurance loss powers. So
I'm going to exhaust Darkseid.
Whoa!
To play
What?
Shock and Awe. This may be where I lose the game.
Oh, man. Well, you're making it interesting. I appreciate that.
As an additional cost to play Shock and Awe, exhaust a character named Darkseid you control.
It's blowing my mind right now.
The controller of target character moves it to his hidden area. I will choose Annihilus.
What? What? I was not prepared for that. Huh.
I wonder if his equipment is concealed optional. It's
I don't think it is. That's unfortunate. All right, he's here now.
Then I'm going to attack you with Lashina, and oops, I'm confusing myself.
and then I have a Bloodlust. Yeah, I'm with you.
And I'm going to activate Apocalypse and once again target myself.
Man, that's a lot of damage. I don't like that so much. That's a mean thing. Well, that's going to deal me 7 damage. I would hazard to guess.
That is also my math.
Ow. Interesting.
Shotgun is usually a kill shot. I'm very nervous using it in the middle of the game.
Yeah, that is a thing. Well, I am going to play from my hand, and by that I mean discard that card to flip a negative zone. This negative zone, which is the seat of Annihilus, is also, of course, not unique. To flip, discard a card. At the start of the recovery phase, draw a card if an opponent controls more stunned characters than you do.
Which that is also true. A card in 2 life? 4 life?
2 life. I wish it were 4 life. That'd be really cool. I could use 4 life.
Yeah.
But as it is, no. So I will take... so I'll draw a card. I will pass. You do have an opportunity.
Likewise.
Okay, very good. Just want to make sure. We'll do it by the book. I get 2 life, putting me back up to 25, and I draw 1 card. And one of those readies. Let's see. Well, that's a card. That is a card.
That is ironic.
And a card. It's an ironic card. how do I do this? This is interesting. I guess it's your initiative. I can wait and see what I'm up against. What a tangled web we weave. The intergalactic battle between the getting soundly thrashed Annihilus and the omnipresent Darkseid. Will Annihilus be able to turn the tides? Not gonna lie, this is an uphill battle, but I do enjoy negative zone.
I think it's safe to do that, and that makes it the right play, which is scary.
Interesting.
I'm playing this deck very weird.
Hopefully you'll fall into my trap.
So I have just played as my resource Ancient Throne.
Go on.
Ancient Throne's power is whenever an opponent flips a location or plays a plot twist from his resource row, if I control a character named Darkseid, I may discard a card. If I do, turn a face-up resource face down. This power triggers only once per turn. I can turn your negative zones face down and make you pay their costs again.
That's mean. Don't do that.
That's entertaining. Then...
Not feeling great about that.
Then I'm going to recruit another... I'm sorry. Did I read the last part?
You didn't.
Activate cards named Darkseid you own are not unique this turn. So
is the first one an activated power? Or that
no,
just
the first one's just okay. Always in play. Then I'm going to recruit another 5-cost Darkseid.
Huh. So Darkseid is not unique. And you have multiple Darkseids. Interesting. And I dare say, sub-optimal. That's fascinating. I am going to recruit Ravenous. When Ravenous enters play, you may replace target face-up resource and gain endurance equal to its cost.
Apocalypse, huh?
It must be.
Yeah.
I will gain 2 endurance.
I was about to give that to you for no reason.
I'll take it. Well, can I use it? Is that team stamped? My card might be useful to you. We'll see. I'm afraid it could be. Not everything in here is team stamped.
It is, in fact, team stamped. Okay.
I'm just going to go. So, yeah, just as a reminder for our diehard fans, so I gained my 2 life, but replacing is taking the top card from your deck and exchanging it with something else. So I've gotten rid of this and replaced it with the top card. That's Ravenous' only power. Other than that, he's just a 13/11 with flight range. So he's done his thing. He's served his purpose. It's great. But he's big, which is useful.
Well, I think my turn's not going to be very surprising. I'm going to team attack Ravenous. I like so.
Could you please read me 5-cost Darkseid's text again?
Whenever Darkseid stuns a character, its controller loses 1 endurance for each face down resource he controls.
Stuns a character. Loses 1 endurance for each face down resource he controls. I think it is time for me to do my thing. It's so funny. This card almost never sees play. It's almost never relevant. And who knows, it might still not be relevant. But I am going to flip Swarm of Annihilus. Play only if you control Annihilus. Stun target character with cost less than or equal to the number of negative zones in play. I will target Guillotina.
Interesting. Wow, that's really good.
I almost never have a low character to target and enough negative zone.
Let's see if I can do anything about it.
Hoping this is my dramatic Annihilus turns it around turn, because if it's not, I peter out around 7. Unless like it's a very specific subset of stuff.
Oh this might be a bad turn for me. This deck does have stuff that can counter that.
I know that it does.
I think that I don't have any of it.
I know that it does. Man, I might have lucked out.
Oh, but I do get to turn something face down.
That's true. Interesting. So you do have to discard a card to do that, is that correct?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Is there any restrictions on what card that is? Does it need to be a Darkseid character card, or is it just discard a card, flip something face down?
What in the heck?
Indeed.
I wish I had... The irony is...
You have a lot of things that can counter this situation. I'm lucking out a little, circumstantially, I think.
That would do that.
True.
That's not enough. I made the wrong choices last turn and this turn. It turns out.
Interesting.
I could not have known.
Well, indeed. Unforeseeable stuff.
Okay.
You may only fire that location once a turn, is that correct?
I think so.
So if there's, I'm sorry, can you just read it again? It's probably easier.
Whenever an opponent flips a location or plays a plot twist from his resource row, if you control a character named Darkseid, you may discard a card. If you do turn a face-up resource face down,
Gotcha. Okay.
this power triggers only once per turn.
Okay.
Oh, so
I
can just discard a card to make you turn something face down.
Oh, that's true. Though, that's certainly true. So there's an interesting chain that could happen. For example, let's see. Could you interrupt center equal to the number of negative zone locations in play? So you could flip something face down, and if I do not flip it back up, but I could flip something up in response.
Circumstantially, I should flip your negative zone. That seems like the...
It makes me discard a card, and you'll know I'll do it. But
they're all just discarded card? Boy, you have lots of cards.
I have a fair number. Yeah, each of these are discarded card. This is the life gain one. This is the I draw an extra card one. But I can promise you that I will, in fact, flip.
Of course you will.
Whichever one. Will come at a cost. I don't know which thing I would get rid of.
Well, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna dump a Malice Wunderbar, and we'll say the card draw one goes down.
So that is flipped face down. Now
so
I must. Yeah. This actually is a difficult choice, despite the number of cards.
I'm glad because the rest of this turn's going to be pretty bad for me.
There you go. Sadly. I may regret this, but I am going to discard a spare Annihilus to flip up negative zone.
Right. So that you are just stunning Guillotine.
Correct.
There ain't anything I can do about it. So, I guess she's stunned.
Cool. So, the attack is Darkseid v. Ravenous, currently.
That is true.
Do you have an additional thing?
I did. You replaced it.
That's true. I will observe Ravenous' defense is 11.
I understand.
Okay. Interesting. Your draw is peculiar.
It's pretty peculiar.
All right. Well, in that case, I will deal the damage to Darkseid.
It's going to work. I should take some damage for...
that's true. That's true. Yeah, for Guillotine.
Guillotine.
37.
Yeah, and then I will take an additional... bad turn.
Oh, boy. Ha-ha! Annihilus!
Oh, boy.
Annihilus, the leader of antimatter, by the way. I'm antimattering you. Ravenous must attack. 5-cost Darkseid.
Yeah.
It's the one thing, and I apologize for being a little gleeful, but this is
fine.
What's funny about it is specifically that's the thing No Match for Darkseid does, and I got to do it back against Darkseid, and I feel warm and fuzzy inside. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's similarly, I do dramatic shit.
Or maybe do I want to take that one? That's the one I want to take. So is that 32?
Yeah, you do.
So you will hit me for 3 breakthrough. Yep. 8.
It's sad because Screet actually is not going to be able to hit your last character. It's almost a clean sweep, but I do have Annihilus, who I guess you're going to reinforce either way, which means I must, of course, attack Lashina. Is that true? What is the... Actually, maybe that is not true. Lashina targets... Malice targets anything.
Yes.
I must attack Malice, rather. The one that can target anyone. Because I have a...
well, they both can target that.
Oh, they both can target this one. Okay. All right. Oh, I see. One of them can't target ongoing. Lashina it is. Annihilus will attack Lashina.
I will reinforce Lashina. I might be able to fire her right away.
Interesting prospect.
Oh, she's too costly. I will not. So I'll take 3 more. What a swing.
That was a good turn for negative zone over here. I will...
is there a reason not to do this now?
Just to be clear, well, maybe we're on your attack step, so...
yes.
So you will pass your attack step. Screet cannot do anything. I will pass my attack step. At the start of the recovery phase, I gain 8 life.
Good God.
And I draw a card.
Good God.
2 apiece. Oh, this card. I put this card in the deck. It's one of the only times in all of my deck building
so much trouble
that I have overtly put a stupid card in a deck that doesn't fit the theme of the deck because I can't think of another deck to put it in, so I just crammed it in here. We'll see if it matters. I might not play it. I might play it. Oh, it's stupid. That was also a very circumstantially helpful situation. That was the thing that needed to happen there. What do I do now?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Nothing?
Oh, things?
No. Seriously, nothing.
Alright. That's a thing. I will recruit Blastar. I got my combo. Blastar says whenever Blastar enters play, if negative zone is not in play, exhaust him. Fortunately, I meet that criteria. Activate. Stun target visible character. Use only during your attack step.
That sucks.
Also, I should put down a resource this turn.
Wow. You have killed me this turn, and there's nothing I can do.
He's also just big. Did I not put down a resource last turn? Did I do that wrong? I might have... I don't think that would have affected anything, because I got rid of the card that manipulated that.
It's 7 resources.
Oh, I just put down a second one. I feel like I just... You'll see I did something wrong in a replay. I don't think it is anything that would have affected the outcome of the game, but I did something wrong.
You have lethal pretty easily. The irony is I am undone because you have range.
Interesting. That's an intriguing statement. Screet does not have range.
Because you can KO with your 7 drop,
right, and
but
protect,
continue to protect your
lower
6 drop.
Yeah.
And
my biggest liability is actually probably Screet. I forget. I think Darkseid has some anti-hidden, but I don't remember how it fires or what its criteria.
Just KO. Activate to KO. So you will KO.
It is activate to stun a physical character.
Stun? Oh, that's even worse.
It's really bad.
So if I recruit my 7 drop, you will stun my 7 drop. You will stun my 7 drop, and then you will attack.
Probably with Ravenous against Darkside.
Darkside. And even if I reinforce, that's 15 life. I will have 6 left, which I would try to deal with your remaining 2 attackers. Screet, who could do breakthrough at that point.
Screet. Interesting.
I cannot stop that much loss, and I can't do anything because it's your initiative. There's nothing I can do to stop you. What a brutal swing!
I mean,
that was tremendous.
For our viewers who have not witnessed in general, there is no greater swing in all of Versus than thwarting an attack. If you generally thwart an attack, it's the worst momentum shift, or I should say, the most significant momentum shift that the game can experience. For the record, I did not expect that to thwart the attack. I expected to make you burn a bunch of stuff. So your draw is a strange, crazy draw that I was not prepared for.
So what does that get me? Not much. God, you have so much life now too.
That was a. I thought Ravenous was going to be stunned on that attack.
I'll play it as though there's nothing that I can do to play around it. I can't even. I don't think make it much closer.
Sure. Well, we can play through it briefly for the sake of the viewers. I mean, your 7-drop Darkseid, remember, is
doesn't matter.
Sure, I'm going to stun him.
His power was removed immediately from the game. Whenever a character named Darkseid I control defends, the attacking player loses 1 endurance for each face-down resource he controls.
Yeah. So, for those wondering, the series of events, if that is your formation, this is what is it? What am I doing this?
You cannot stun Malice, so.
Oh, you're replacing Swarm of Annihilus, correct?
Yeah.
Because it's got to be a plague. Yeah, that will not be useful. I must activate Blastar to stun your 7-drop, of course.
I wish it were KO. I would feel better if it was KO.
And then, I think it's just Ravenous attacks 5-cost Darkseid. Just do the punch through. I think I've got enough. You'll reinforce. It's close. I haven't run this math. This is actually close.
Not very close.
Yeah, let's see. You'll take 5, 9. I think I'll get you to -1. Assuming you pass, and Malice will attack Malice.
So it's 10.
Yeah, so 2.
I would take 8 from that. I'd be at 1, and then it's -1. Wow. I can stop it, but there's no point. I'm so far.
It's a hell of a board.
I can stop 2 damage.
Yeah, 2 is all you need. If you have your 8-drop, maybe. I will.
Well, it will cost me what I would need to get my 8.
Oh, go figure.
Well, I'm going to do it. I will play the exchange. Discard any number of character cards from your hand. Search your deck for a Darkseid's Elite or New Gods character card with cost less than or equal to the cost of the card you discarded this way. Reveal that card, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. I will discard Lashina to go get Malice Wunderbar.
Interesting.
Assuming I have another. I'm not even sure that's the case.
That would be a sad conclusion. You gotta have at least 2 Malice.
Okay. So here's a Malice.
Yeah, all right.
I'm not going to go ahead and shuffle my deck. In fact, I'm going to set aside this second Malice. The reason that will be evident momentarily.
Yes. You are doing some shenanigans, sir.
Then, I'm going to play, from my hand, Created from Hate. Search your deck for a Darkseid's Elite character card with cost less than or equal to the number of resources you control. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Each opponent may turn a face-up resource he controls face down. So I'm going to power up twice.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I'm going to take 6 damage.
Yep.
Stupid. I don't have flight either, so you can just protect your crazy 7-drop, and I'm done next turn.
Yeah.
Not that it matters because you have all of your characters, and I will have none of mine.
And
you will have more cards and lots of life. And
I actually top decked Blastar on 7. I did not have him. I only have this deck.
Oh, that's too bad. I was with 7-drop Darkseid. I was in an okay position.
You were in an all right shape. I mean it was not a foregone conclusion either way with you having that. I mean, what's this deck? I do love when this deck works. When it works, it's a horrifying deck, but it's got some of the lowest working percentages.
2 more?
Yeah,
take it. 1.
All right.
I will be recovering. You will gain 6.
That's
3.
True. I draw a card.
6,
I gain 6.
Friggin'
41.
Grumble, grumble, salt.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Could top deck your 8-drop.
I could.
I also could top deck
or
my
a search
8-drop.
card.
That's
There's
true.
lots in here.
this is interesting. I did not top deck my 8. It is your initiative, I believe. Is that correct? 8 is you.
Yep.
I'm just shifting my negative zone so they're in a neat little pile.
Well, I didn't top deck. I didn't top deck my 8 drop, so I'm not going to play a resource. I did top deck another 7 drop.
That's not nothing. My.
41 life.
It's a very peculiar game. What am I gonna do about your biggins over there? I have to just protect Blastar.
Yes,
That's clearly
the
correct choice. So I am going to protect him probably with Ravenous, and I am going to recruit a character from my hand. We're gonna recruit, and their liability, it's still probably the right choice. Maybe do I recruit nobody? That seems so stupid. I'll recruit the Centurions.
Really?
It's fine. If you don't attack them, they're 9 damage.
I must attack him.
It's true.
I will attack him.
With which Darkseid?
Front Darkseid. I will also be boosting my attack by the number of face-down resources you control.
That's a big number.
I think it's 4. Oh, it might be 5. It might be 5. 5 minus something.
I do have a reinforcement card.
Sure.
But I will get stunned for the 4. 37.
You had everything you needed in every circumstance in this game.
I did. It was very good. So Blastar is going to stun your 7 drop in the back. Then going to play from my hand Sleeper Cells to exhaust 3 characters I control, to either exhaust a character or ready a character. And I will stun 7 drop Darkseid.
Ooh, clever.
Because I can't take any chances.
Dang. Negative 13.
It's
what an amazing coming together of your deck.
I will hand you this, which was indeed one of your search cards. I wonder what I gave you. Oh, Seekers, yep. And I do not have really. It was so strange because, I mean, there's a reason Negative Zone is in.
My head is reeling or spinning.
Well, and here's
what do you even say with that? I don't know the expression. It's crazy. The thing you did is so out of left field.
I don't know if I've ever even used that card. I have it in the deck because it's a one of these days card. One of these days, I'm going to flip it, and it's going to turn the tide and do something spectacular and terrifying and justify Negative Zone being in the double A's. Cool. That was that game.
Well, I mean, they work. I've seen them work.
They work. That was for the record, I mean, it was interesting because I missed a lot of my early stuff, and the early stuff is normally essential to get the setup for the late game stuff. But instead of getting the early game stuff, I just drew all the late game stuff.
I had no idea you had stun a character.
Sure.
Right.
That's pretty damn hard to foresee. Yeah.
But I was confident in that attack because I had my location, which you replaced.
Right. Though, in my defense, I did replace it before you declared the attack. It was earlier in the turn. I thought for sure you had 2 more attack. And for the record, I had maybe 1 defense buff. But I thought I was still getting stunned. So I'm like, this will be a tide turner. But I never expected that to go as well as it did for me. There was like that faint glimmer of a hope that something that crazy would happen.
Well, it did.
But I did not foresee it.
That's why you don't concede.
Yep, that's true.
Concede?
That's true.
That's right. Yes? I'm so confused. That
seemed
seemed very wrong to me briefly, but it's correct, right?
Oh, that is one way to pronounce that word. Concede, tomato.
Cool.
Yeah, that was... What I will point out is the absurdity.
37 and negative 13. I was up on you 30 at one point.
That's the pendulum that I'm chuckling about. Is at the end our life totals were like the exact opposite of what anyone would have foreseen. I love when Negative Zone works. I mean, Negative Zone. So again, so there are out of the 60 card deck. A deck is traditionally 60 card. All my decks are 60 cards. 9 of my cards in this deck are Negative Zones, and if I do not draw them, the deck falls apart, or you replace them. And for whatever reason, this game, I mean, maybe a lot of your stuff targets plot twists and not locations.
Darkseid cannot target locations.
I think it's just Knockout, right?
That
Knockout,
might be true.
I think, can get, which is the 4-drop that you didn't get, I will add. So I was terrified you were going to get Knockout, replace my stuff, KO my characters, and then I couldn't do anything. But if I can keep
I do enjoy the revelation that I can turn them down, though, and make you discard more cards.
That was kind of annoying.
I will probably continue to do that in this matchup.
Which is the only thing that Negative Zone ever fights, so we'll get a chance.
The irony was, I was actually flooded with the cards that let me replace your things, but I couldn't target Negative Zone.
Oh, interesting.
Negative Zone almost is, I know you say that your deck is my deck is a hard counter to yours, but your being able to flip and my subsequently not being able to easily target Negative Zone is actually a pretty good counter to my deck as well.
Okay, yeah, I guess really the real fear is Knockout, because Knockout directly, it's one of those things where because I bank on having Negative Zones, and even multiple Negative Zones.
And she's a really good card, but she's absolutely not my preferred foreground.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. You have a 4-drop Darkseid that's very good as well.
Well, her power is costly.
Oh, that's true.
To fire,
that's
and
true.
then her stats automatically decrease as the game goes on.
That's also true.
So she becomes more and more of a liability.
She's reduction for my face-up,
yes.
Right? She's a momentum character. She's a very good momentum character, because either you're ahead of me and you're keeping my stuff locked down and she stays monstrous and her power stays a threat, or I successfully undermine her power and she's tiny and I don't care. But yeah, for what it's worth, I'm as whiplashed as you. I really did not expect that big a swing. When that turn 6 happened the way it did, I'm like, cool. I mean, I planned that. So if you would
there were the 3 choices I made that were the wrong choice. Maybe the first one is not so bad, which was hiding an eyeless. I thought I had the momentum.
Yeah, you did. You did.
That would make it so much harder for you on the next turn to prevent me from finishing you off.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I see why you made the play.
The second choice I made was, rather than search for my 6-drop, which I could have done, I played another 5-drop. And the 5-drop's power, I think, is slightly better.
It's on
but
stun.
The 6-drop stats would have meant you couldn't have stunned me easily with your 6-drop.
Right. Yeah, and the 5-drop is on stun or on breakthrough?
The 5-drop's on stun.
I was almost suspecting you were going to team attack with the 2 Darksides.
Maybe I should have.
Well, maybe not, because as potent as that power is, it is more useful to deal straight damage.
Had 2 face-up resources, or face-down resources.
Right.
So it wasn't super advantageous for me to play those effects.
That's very true, yeah.
Hello everybody.
So yeah, it was a very strange. It's very tough to decide what was a wrong decision and what was a right decision that turned out poorly.
And then the third wrong decision was not further bolstering that team attack.
Yeah.
But that's hard to predict.
Well, yeah, I mean,
all those seemed like the right decision at the time, and they were all disastrous.
Yeah, it was the reverse domino effect. The dominoes tipped back on you, I guess.
Anyway,
it's very strange. Yeah.
Let's play a game that doesn't feel as bad as that.
Oh, I'm sorry. So if you don't object, I'll still include the 2 AA's in the random selection.
No,
so we have 1A, 1S.
Playing whatever we play.
Yeah, 1A, 1S.
This is the one we're going to be playing.
This one here
yes,
is we're going to play. All right, this deck is...
Got a little more salt this week for us.
It is the S deck.
S deck. All right, so I will roll. The good news for you is that you don't have to face the deck you faced last week, which is terrible. But you do have to face this deck.
Oh boy, it's this deck. I'm so ready. Well, you have to face this deck. Be ready.
I'll take on you.
You will. Maybe I'll take on you. Yes, dear, that would be just fine. Definitely not more than half. I don't know for sure if this didn't see stream time. If it did, it was early.
I mean, like, we're gonna repeat things.
Of
so
course,
don't sweat
of course.
Bam.
Bam, bam. Thank you. I have won this roll.
Got a little overexcited.
You were hyped. So with this deck, I will choose to go. Oh, let's go evens. Let's go evens.
Weird draw that I might keep.
Let's go evens.
Oh, don't make me sad that I kept.
That's weird. This is bad, but I could keep it. I'm gonna keep it. Oh.
You want evens?
Oh my god. This draw. What on earth?
Evens?
Yeah, I went evens. This is a draw for the ages.
I am Mr. Winslow Shote, the Toyman, or just Toyman, if you're nasty. Vengeance. Whenever Winslow Shote becomes stunned, you may put target card from a KO'd pile on top of its owner's deck.
Right. I do not have a 1-drop.
I will hit you for 2.
However,
I will hit you for 2.
I'm going to shift Arcade.
Oh, no. I don't think we've played this on the stream.
So shift is a power that says I can basically accrue resource points that can be spent on that character on a future turn if I have resources equal to its cost or greater. So, in other words, I can start spending resource points on Archangel now, and then when I get to turn 5, if he's got 5 counters, I can just bring him right into play at the cost of the counters that are on him. So he has 1 shift counter. I then, however, will be attacked for 2. I am going to read Archangel's power, though. It doesn't matter yet.
Given the knowledge I now possess, I should not have kept that draw.
Well, while Archangel is shifted, with 5 counters, at the start of the recovery phase, you may KO target stunned character.
That is super good.
If I can get up to 5 counters. Surprising how often he doesn't get up to 5 counters. It's kind of interesting.
Well, that reminds me, I think I mentioned briefly on IM earlier.
Yeah.
I saw Kubo this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. What did you think?
It was really good. I liked it a lot.
I quite wanted to see that. It showed a great deal of promise, I felt.
You got initiative, sir.
I do. I'm going to recruit Proteus. Proteus also has shift, which I'm not utilizing. She also has activate. Put a shift counter on a shifted card you own. So that does take my 2 resource points to put her into play.
Yep. I'm going to do one of these guys. That's annoying. I'm going to be recruiting Natasha Irons, Starlight. Natasha Irons' power is Vengeance. Whenever Natasha Irons becomes stunned, target Revenge Squad character in your front row gets +3 attack this turn.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'm going to put a shift counter on Archangel.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Yep.
Oh, that was an interesting set of things that just happened.
I hear that. Interesting.
My initiative, huh?
It is. It is indeed.
We'll put Winslow up here, we'll put Caged Beast here, and Anarchy over here.
You're playing that deck. Interesting. Now I'm on to you.
KG Beast's power is at the start of your attack step, target player exhausts a ready character he controls. And Anarchy's power is whenever Anarchy attacks an exhausted character, that character can't ready this turn.
Oh, that's annoying.
I will now play Truth and Justice to play choose a bunch of stuff. Choose two different affiliations among character control. I will choose Arkham, Inmates, and Revenge Squad. Ongoing cross over those affiliations.
Yeah.
Discard another card named Truth and Justice. Power up target attacker or defender.
Right. Okay, that's a lot of stuff that just happened.
A lot of chewing over here.
A lot of chewing going on. So I am going to recruit LCD.
I remember her being awful.
Yeah,
too.
she's annoying. Though, unfortunately, she's a lower drop. LCD has shift, which doesn't matter. She also has, when she enters play, remove the top 3 cards of your deck from the game, face down. Whenever she becomes stunned, put a random card you removed this way into its owner's hand, which would be mine. I am the owner. Then, I still have 1 resource point remaining. I'm going to shift Rogue. Rogue says when Rogue is shifted, at the start of the combat phase, put a shift counter on her. I will form with all of my characters in the front row. Then I must exhaust someone. It's going to be an interesting game. You should attack LCD. Oh boy. Interesting decisions await. I don't know that my position is great. That's for sure. My draw is good, but also bad. One of those.
That would be stupid. But it might be the right play.
Watch out, I'm down to 48 life. Gotta make sure not to confuse the 3 cards in my hand with the 3 cards related to LCD. I'm just gonna put these cards under LCD.
That's probably a good idea.
Probably.
I am not going to do it, but I have been and am and was and were and are.
I'm with you so far.
Seriously tempted to just stun Natasha Irons on LCD.
That's kind of hilarious. Yeah, I could see a case for that.
But I think the correct thing to do is to attack LCD with KG Beast.
I can see an argument for that. I am stunned. One of these cards, which you may select, will go into my hand.
We'll take them in.
One has been selected. Don't use that card very much. Maybe it'll be great. I don't know. Don't know. Maybe it'll be great. It is now my turn to attack. This actually is moderately tempting to attack for a change. If I can get choked cleanly. I probably can't. Probably can't. Your deck does sneaky stuff. I'm going to put a counter on Archangel. I'll pass.
I'm going to attack her with Anarchy.
I thought you might. I'm not stunned, but she cannot will represent that she cannot ready with a yellow counter.
And I think that's it.
Yep. Yep. Anarchy has done his business. So LCD recovers and readies. Proteus less so. Man, what a draw.
What a.
What a draw. contemplate. By contemplate, I mean count for a moment. So I'm not going to get a counter from Proteus this turn. I will get a counter on Rogue, because that happens automatically with the combat phase, which means...
It should have already happened, right? That happened this turn.
It actually happens during the combat phase, so I did it last turn, and when we get to the combat phase this turn, she will get her second counter.
But you had to have paid something to shift her.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you. That is correct. I don't think I put the initial counter on her that I needed to do that. So, right now, if I had 5 resource points, I could recruit both characters. I think I will remove a shift counter from Rogue to play a guard. A finer world. To play, remove a shift counter from a card you own. Search your deck for an Exiles character card. Reveal it and put it into your hand. Boy, that's actually an interesting choice. That's a very interesting choice. I do have an interesting choice.
Could you describe your choice for me, please?
It is interesting. I have 3 potential choices. I'm gonna have to deal with KG Beast. I'm gonna search for and recruit Ilyana Rasputin. She is concealed. She also says at the start of the recovery phase, recover all stunned characters you control that entered play this turn.
Drop I missed was very important.
Excellent. Did I take damage last turn? What the hell happened last turn? You stunned someone last turn. Did you stun LCD?
I did.
I did not take my LCD damage. You did not, and you dealt a point of breakthrough, didn't you? Because you took the KG Beast. Sorry, I was so excited to get that one extra card that I did that wrong.
Might it notice that I'm spacing my characters kind of interestingly here. Gosh, is that the right way to do it? That's interesting. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm going to recruit a power armor on Natasha Irons.
What?
So I have recruited Livewire. Livewire's power is Livewire gets +2 attack while all my characters are in my front row. This formation indicates that they are, however, I have left gaps to indicate that they are not, in fact, adjacent to each other. And power armor is equipped character gets +2 attack and can attack as though it had flight.
And are you formed?
I am formed.
Due to KGB's power firing, I will exhaust LCD. Rogue gets a counter.
It is not my initiative, so...
Oh, it's my initiative?
Yeah.
Oh.
Could thwart, subvert
I'm not a
KGB's power, if you were so inclined.
I mean, it comes with no trivial risk. That deck is known for being immensely prickly. What is the correct play here? This is interesting. Why did I not realize it was my initiative?
I'm not sure. That was kind of weird.
So on the board, nothing increases your attack.
Correct.
Except for Livewire, whose attack is increased while
Her
attacking.
Her own attack is increased. It's always increased.
I'll attack KG Beast with LCD.
Okay. We will be stunned.
We'll deal 2 points of breakthrough. And then we will be stunned. So I'll be stunned for 2.
Take 4. You can take the top card.
Top card is taking.
So you do not need to exhaust anyone.
I'm going to take a lot of damage this turn, I
think it's actually quite tempting to do this a couple of different ways. I think the correct play, however, is to attack Proteus with Natasha Irons.
+2 attack?
+2 attack.
I will power up. So currently I will still be stunned, but I'll take 1 less breakthrough and you will also be stunned. I'm aware that does boost the attack of someone on your team.
Correct. It's going to be Winslow.
I suspected. Actually, that's not true. I don't know why I said that. I didn't suspect it would be Winslow. I suspected that it would work, but I am still stunned, so I take 2. This is no longer in effect, but I take a point of breakthrough as well. So, Winslow, let's talk about Winslow. So is that +3 attack while attacking or at all times?
All times.
That is very potent. So, if I were to attack and be stunned, I would probably lose LCD. How many cards in your hand?
2.
I know how much hurt that deck can bring. I must attack Livewire. And I'm not happy about it.
Kind of looks like we're going to be stunned.
Kind of does. Kind of does. I'll take 4.
As will I.
36. I think I take another 5 from
You do.
Winslow Show.
Take another 5.
Ouch.
I think I must recover. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Sadly, I lost 1 card forever. I'll never know what it was. Removed from the game. Well, it is your initiative.
Oh, it's bad. We're going to recruit 2 5-drops this turn. I'm going to recruit a 2-drop.
I like this plan. I will only have 1 visible character. Archangel is concealed.
We'll be recruiting Natasha Irons.
My turn. I'll pay 3 resource points. Get 3 ship counters to Rogue and Recruiter, and then my remaining 2 for Archangel. Recruit him. He is concealed. I will form thusly. just as one minor observation, both of these characters have powers that are only relevant while they are shifted, so now they're just big and have stats. It is also worth noting that because they both entered play this turn, if Eliana Rasputin is not stunned when we enter the recovery phase, both of these characters will recover even if they are both stunned. Which will be an interesting question if I decide to gamble with that, we'll see.
Well, I'm on the ropes. I should gamble a little. I'm going to attack your 5-drop with just live wire.
Yeah. What is your, so you get how much attack?
2.
Better review my options.
We haven't had a bad draw in a while.
What's that?
We haven't had a bad draw in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
We were due, I suppose.
That's true.
Hope I do well next game.
So, I have a thing I can do, and I'm trying to decide if I should do it. And if so, how? These are not insignificant questions. So, Vengeance, +3 attack to a character in the front row.
Correct.
Vengeance, remove a card from a KO pile from the game. Or put on top of owner's deck.
Put on top of owner's deck.
That's a good power.
That is a good power.
I could certainly put some of my stuff on top of my deck. Interesting. There's also a really crazy thing I could do. Oh man, it's so good, but also such a waste. I feel like I have to focus on just doing as much damage as possible. I think that's the right play, and I think I have to put myself at a disadvantage next turn for that risk. So I am going to exhaust Rogue to play Captive Audience. Target character gets +1 attack this turn. Boost. Exhaust the character you control. If Captive Audience is in your resource row, turn it face down. And I will give +1 attack to Archangel. And I will be stunned. 5.
Don't know what the disadvantage is for next turn. I guess I'll find out.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. Please be disadvantaged next turn.
Yeah.
I could use a disadvantage for you.
Fair enough. I will attack Winslow Show. Actually, I need to do it with Archangel. Apologies. Okay. Archangel will attack Winslow Show. I'm certain you have reinforcement.
I'm going to play all locked up. Target attacker can't cause breakthrough this attack while attacking an Arkham Inmates defender that's not adjacent to any characters.
And you did specify at the start of the turn that none of your characters were adjacent. You target Archangel.
I didn't at the start of this turn, but it was implied. I actually have the space to make it kind of clearer now. So I will take 1, and I will put something from your KO pile on top of your deck.
You've got 2 choices: LCD or Proteus. I really don't want either.
Let's put Proteus on top of your deck, please.
That is part of the disadvantage.
Then I will attack you for 2.
Okay, might as well. It'll work. I must press my advantage. You know, there's some risk here against how quickly your deck can be. I gotta attack you. My attack is 7 as printed.
I will play another all locked up.
Still the right choice.
Oof.
That definitely. I'm in a good spot. Hey, it's Proteus. Interesting. How do I do this? attack Rogue last turn with live wire as your lead
yes,
attack?
Yes, I did. I do not have initiative. Oh.
Well, my 6-drop is not super impressive. My 6-drop is Heather Hudson, Sasquatch. Sasquatch has shift, which is not relevant. Sasquatch also has, whenever another Exiles character enters play under my control, she gets 2 1/1 counters. So, like most of my team, this turn she is just stats. I will observe that if Ilyana Rasputin is not stunned, she is also a free recovery.
What a ludicrous amount of... I wish I wasn't having so much trouble. I have Doomsday.
It's Doomsday. He's big.
He is big.
Bigger than Hudson this turn.
That is all he is.
And Doomsday has loyalty reveal. You do have another character, so you don't have to reveal one. Live wire +2 attack at all times?
Yes.
Huh. Well, I believe the correct play is to team attack Doomsday. Even though I still think there's a... You'll do some stuff back, but I do think that's the right play.
Well, I will attempt to deal the damage to Gambit, or Archangel.
Yeah. I'll work. I'll take 5. I am at 19. What are you at over there?
25.
We'll have initiative on 7.
The sad truth is I must attack Rogue.
Interesting. That is an option. Do I kill you if you attack Rogue?
Nope. Maybe?
I might not. You're at 25. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I don't get you. I think you get your initiative on 7. It'll work. I get stunned. Your attack is 9. I take a point of break. Man, this is a slugfest of a game. Sorry, 1 breakthrough 6. I'm down to 13. I don't have a trick. I'm just going to attack you. It's 19. I don't...
Not even going to play your other thing?
I mean, the difference between 1 and 2 and not being able to play that next turn, I think it's worth having the extra 1 as a surprise.
1.
Oh, no, wait a minute. You'd be at 2, I believe. You were at 21, right? I would have pled this if it would have done you in.
I'm at 2.
But it wouldn't.
You can play it twice, though, right? Somehow? But you need
I
to
must exhaust a
somebody,
character,
you
yeah.
have the option.
So I must lose a character, and I will lose Rogue, I believe. I'll lose Rogue. Goodbye, Rogue. I'm going to draw me some cards. Almost. Is your initiative?
do something really bizarre that I would never consider doing in this deck if not for this really terrible draw.
Interesting. What?
Don't worry about it.
Interesting.
Killer Croc's power is discard a card at random. Killer Croc gets plus X attack this turn, where X is that card's cost. Use only once per turn.
Interesting. You may have more shenanigans afoot. That is not in and of itself unimpressive. So we're going to ask for a technical call. I recruit Blink. Blink says, when Blink enters play, remove any number of characters I control from the game, then return them to play at the start of your attack step this turn. So I can pick a number of characters, disappear, and they will come back at the start of the attack step this turn.
I'm not sure how that's relevant yet.
So the question is that effect now on the chain?
Yes.
All right, so she has entered play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play Captive Audience. To give a character I control +1 attack this turn, I will choose Blink. Then I can exhaust a character I control as part of that to turn it face down. And then play Captive Audience. Then play Captive Audience.
That's fine. Oh, that's fine, legit.
So Blink is now an 1816. And I will remove these characters from the game. They will return at the start of my attack step.
You're not restricted to doing that once per turn? That's kind of surprising, the plot twist.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's hugely advantageous in a situation where I can remove all my characters and bring them back. Because normally I would not exhaust a 4-drop, 5-drop, and 6-drop to give a character +3 attack. But in this particular circumstance, for the record, I don't think I've ever actually used that particular combo before. It's useful.
Yeah, it's just that I'm not saying that your particular play is unbalanced. I'm saying it's unusual that they let something like you recur a plot twist happen, because there's combos like, for example, with your X Factor, X Force
possibly
deck, where that would be devastating.
That's true. Yeah, I think they assume that because it's +1 attack, though you're right, if I use it to trigger multiple powers, that too could be something.
So please put your characters back in play.
That happens at the start of my attack step.
Oh, interesting.
It is your attack step.
You've given her +3 attack.
So she is prickly.
That is precisely the rack number. That is sad.
I'm sorry. I have a power-up, too, if it makes you feel any better.
What a terrible draw. I tried to make something of it. So I will, of course, attack with Killer Croc. I will first use his power.
Indeed. I will select this card. 4.
Croc gets +4 attack for the turn.
Yep.
And I must attack for 18.
Take a blink. Yep. I mean, it's going to work. I guess I should power up as promised to mitigate damage, which I will do.
Almost made that work.
Very close. I will be stunned and take 1 point of breaking from 8. I'm at 5.
You only take 1?
Your attack with 18.
17?
Yeah, 16 naturally, powered up once.
Oof. Oh, that's really good. All right.
Still.
You pass and you win.
And then I bring my dudes in. And I bring them in an order whereby she gets counters. But
why does she get counters?
She gets counters whenever another Exiles character enters play under my control. And usually I do this with a bunch of other powers too, but but you're right. The correct choice is to pass. Yeah. Shift is an interesting deck. Your draw was not. Your draw was bad.
I missed 3 and 7. I'm sorry, I missed 3 and 5. Both of which are pretty important draws for this deck.
Well, yeah, I mean, and against Shift, you're either doing your devastating stuff. Yeah, and your deck is a rushdown. It's a high damage, prickly beat to the face. I guess maybe prickly.
It's prickly for sure.
Yeah.
That is the high concept.
Yeah. That was just
hey,
a bad draw. Hey, it's
Chris
a person
is here. That's incredible. Chris, you not playing D&D tonight? I wonder how long Chris has been here.
Long enough to acknowledge that I'm shifting.
9:30s, 20 minutes. We're okay.
Man, we were so into that game. I was not prepared for Chris.
Yeah.
This is exciting. Oh boy.
Whew. Can I have a good game tonight?
Well, let's see what I can do for you.
Stop crushing me with horrible, overwhelming.
To be fair, that was you just had a bad draw. The first game
I can blame you for that.
I'll accept
Stop
that
making
blame.
my draw bad, Chris. I mean, Kyle. You too, Chris.
Well, we have seen 2 double A's. Will we see the... No, I just made that up. We saw a double A and an S. So there's 2 double A's left.
I don't know, I kind of played a double A in that game.
Well, that's true, that's true, that's true.
So we will now play... Ooh, that middle one looks really beefy. Let's play
tempting.
that one.
All right. Now you will learn what the beefy deck is. It is an A deck.
Chris is not paying attention anymore.
That's all right. We weren't paying attention to him. It's
that's true. That's true.
I will... when I put this out in the future, I'll remove some of the cards so it blends into the pile. This is an A.
Just an A? Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. Oh, wait. I might have A's that have not seen play. Let me go through the A's and confirm. That's seen play. This has seen play, but it did disastrously, I believe. This has seen play. One of these have seen play, but I'm not sure which one.
While you contemplate, I'm going to acquire myself a beverage, as I am quite thirsty.
But who will entertain our viewers?
Clearly nobody.
And by that I mean Chris. This is the one. This is the one that has not seen play, although I won't comment further. I won't comment further. This is A1 that has not seen play. Let's see how this works.
I'm surprised you.
Well, you only have 3 A decks, and you are kind of.
I guess we've certainly seen all of them.
Evasive about playing them for that reason.
Yeah.
I think I have more. I think I have more decks that have not yet seen play.
I think that's actually true. I believe.
Well, not many.
That I have fewer.
This may be the last. This may be the last A deck that has not seen play on stream.
Yeah, I think I have fewer A decks than your S decks have less than my S decks.
What?
Well, it's a complicated way of saying we have about the same number of double A's. You have more A's. I have more S's. But the number of A's you have more than my A's is larger than the number of S's I have more than your S's.
Okay, I understood, and I think you are correct. I think you are correct. It's not significant. It's like 1 or 2 at most.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, you have how many A's do you have?
9. I have 9 A's. You have 7 S's, I believe.
Yeah, I guess you're right that we might have shifted a couple up into that. We might have a couple that were moved up to the S territory. I said that first part of that sentence while facing into the fridge, so you could probably hear it almost. I'm sure Chris could not hear it.
Well, that's okay.
Then I spilled
Chris
grapefruit
was
juice.
babbling, blah, 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 something, something.
Yep. Don't mind me, I'm just mopping up the grapefruit juice I just spilled. I've got this. I know how to eat food. Also the world.
Aha! I have no idea what these guys do. So I will be going... Did you cut them?
Nope.
I will be going, then... Let me think. They might be evens. They might be an evens deck. I think that's reasonable. I think so. I think I want to act on 4. I might want to act on 5.
You might. I can't be sure. I now give you the honors of cutting my deck.
I will assume that my initial inclination was correct, and I will be going evens.
Right. All right, this is your game to shine.
Hmm.
Are you shining? The shiny draw?
Well, I like this card. I like this card.
Yeah.
I like this card.
Boy, what a great start. Oh my god.
Maybe I should keep it. Could be a terrible idea.
This is
It is not so terrible an idea. Yet. What is it, Kyle?
wow.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I guess I'm gonna keep this draw. This could be incredibly dunderheaded. Yup. Yup. What'd you go?
Evens.
I do not have a 1-drop.
I do have a 1-drop. My 1-drop is the Emerald Eye. Whenever the Emerald Eye stuns a character an opponent controls, recover that character. This power triggers only once per turn. And the Emerald Eye, after you pass, will attack you for 2.
I will take 2.
Bye. See you later.
Bye, honey.
Goodbye. What's going on?
My fiance is being terrifying and covert.
Covert?
Mm-hmm.
It's not very covert.
You missed the first part.
Hmm.
Also, on my turn, I put down a resource.
That's probably a good plan.
Man, this is good gravy. Good gravy. It's your initiative.
I think this should not be in this deck anymore. On closer inspection.
Yeah.
I think that the correct play is not to play anything.
I'm with you. Except for that part where I am going to play something.
Okay.
Which is a tiny 2-drop. This 2-drop is the Sentinel Mark III.
Mm.
Army Sentinels I control get +1 attack while attacking. So just to be clear, since he is an army card, if he were attacking, he would almost have enough attack to stun your 1-drop.
That's true. Yes.
Also, I will flip Prime Sentinels. Prime Sentinels says, whenever an opponent plays a plot twist from his resource row, that opponent loses 1 endurance for each non-stunned Sentinel character you control.
Alright. I see what you're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
So I will attack you for 2.
Yeah, it's going to work. I'm stunned, and then I recover, and I've taken 2.
Okay.
Did you read Emerald Eye when you played her?
I did.
Okay.
I can read her again if you like.
No, that's all right. I do remember what she does.
You would.
I would. She's memorable. A memorable character.
Some interesting stuff afoot.
I agree with that footness. Right. So it's my initiative. Ha ha. I will recruit a Sentinel Mark II. They have activated. Discard a Sentinel character card from your hand to negate target activated character effect. Also, it is an Army Sentinel character and will receive +1 attack while attacking.
That is going to be relevant, and that's unexpected.
It is unexpected. I concur with that assessment.
Which may continue to work in my favor. I will be recruiting the Riddler. Activate. Discard an Arkham Inmates character card from your hand. Target opponent chooses and discards a card from his hand. The cost of the opponent's... I'm sorry. If the cost of the opponent's discarded card is not equal to the cost of the card you discarded, that opponent discards an additional card. Use this power only during the recovery phase.
When can you use that power? On your recovery
During
phase?
the recovery phase.
I see. Well, that is a thing.
How does his power work?
Which one? I'm sorry.
The threes.
The threes?
Three drop, yeah.
Activate, discard a Sentinel character card from your hand.
So it would end up being a discard either way.
Correct. Though in one case, I don't. Basically, if I use this, I don't have to match your cost because I negate the secondary effect.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think the right play is, for me, it's explicitly clear, which is I must attack Riddler for 5.
Oh, you have flight.
I do have flight.
Interesting. 5 because you are an army.
Because I am an army.
Oh, that's probably going to work. That's sad. I'm going to take 5. And that's not true. I'm going to take 4. Is that true?
One of those things that you said is true.
I'm going to take 4.
Yeah.
I will attack your 1 drop.
Yeah. This card is a little silly, but I think I've got to do it. I almost never play this. I'm going to play Search and Destroy. As an additional cost to play Search and Destroy, stun a ready Army Sentinel character you control. I will take 2. Stun target character with a cost of 3 or less. I will choose Emerald Eye. That character's controller reveals his hand and discards all character cards of the same name. Because I enjoy the surprise of playing the game, I will simply say if you have any other Emerald Eye, please discard them. I don't need to see your whole hand. I don't like reveal powers. They ruin a lot of the fun of the game for me. So I am comfortable with trusting your judgment on that matter.
This is going very poorly for me.
You did
Man, I'm having a terrible night of cards.
I'm sorry to hear that. If it's any consolation, if this goes fast enough, we might have time for a 4th game.
Yeah. Boy.
That was my initiative. Do not have another thing to do. And did you, or are you contemplating?
I'm thinking.
Very good. I'm going to get a paper towel to clean up just a little bit more of that frothed grapefruit juice. Earlier today, I ate some chicken wings. Got food from a Korean restaurant. And the Korean restaurant served the chicken wings. I did stun your...
Oh.
Sorry.
What a disaster. I might just concede.
Well, it is always an option. We do not yet have a 4-drop, if that helps.
Not really.
Fair enough. Let's see what happens. Wow. Top picked 4-drop. Cool. Oh, that was my initiative, however.
Unmitigated disaster.
Well, a reset is not out of the question. It will produce a superior game. But yeah, with the...
I'm not sure I'm capable of producing a superior game tonight.
Well, sometimes the cards...
I will recruit Glorith. Glorith lets me gain life. I'll just read her. Cosmic. Free. Gain 4 endurance unless an opponent discards a card. Use this power only once per turn and only during the combat phase.
Yeah. Well... I have... She does have flight. I have the Sentinel Mark IV. The Sentinel Mark IV has... is a 5/6 with flight and range. Which says, Sentinel Mark IV gets +1 attack for each other non-stunned Army Sentinel character you control. Is that a good formation? You have flight. You can hit anyone, which means I set up to reinforce. Aha! That is a wiser choice.
I wonder if that's Chris.
Could
calling
be Chris.
to tell us that our audio isn't working or something.
Could be true. I see the little microphone thing moving.
I do too.
It doesn't mean anything.
It does not. It is a coworker who knows that I'm streaming, so I will not respond.
I hope they're not watching the stream and hear you saying that.
Well, that's okay. I'm watching. The second viewer's always us. I'm streaming, so I don't have time to respond to your text right now. I think I just hit the 3-drop. Hey, can I have 4 endurance?
Sure. Glorious power in motion. I'm gonna reinforce.
Yeah, you are.
Yar yar.
Yar yar.
I want to take 3.
Sure.
I will attack. For 7 plus 1 from another character, and this guy gives our Sentinels plus 1 attack.
Non-stunned.
Non-stunned,
Oh.
but he gives plus 1.
Okay.
Yep.
The Riddler is certainly not availing me very much. Maybe I should just dump him. He has low stats because his power is cool, but you have thwarted his power many a time over.
Yeah. I'm alright.
That would allow me to do that, which is... I'm not playing this deck how it plays, which is why I was considering
it's interesting.
conceding.
Yeah. It took me a moment to recognize the deck you were playing, and now I think I know. But I admit I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I know. I'm going to draw me some cards.
You hit me for 7. I don't think I took that.
That seems probable. You would have taken 6.
I think I just took 7. Yeah. Man.
Well, this game's going to get funky.
No, I can't move on down that.
So it is my initiative. I do not have what I want. What do I have instead? Do I have a thing? Well, I got another Mark III, which ain't that great. And I guess there isn't a reason to form any other way, so we'll keep it at that, I guess. I suspect that by missing that drop, I'm about to enter a world of hurt.
I wouldn't think so.
Sweet.
How many cards are in your hand?
That's a lot. Yeah, it's 4. Not a ton.
I'm going to recruit Catwoman to my visible area.
Catwoman. Interesting.
Is that right?
I can see the case for it.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, I can see the case for that.
Whose initiative is it?
It is mine.
I'm going to recruit Catwoman to my concealed area.
I can see the reasoning for that.
Whenever Catwoman stuns a defender, choose 1, draw a card, or target player discards a card.
There you go. play micro Sentinels. Put a micro counter on up to X target characters that have no micro counters.
I have never heard of this card before.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
What are you doing?
Where X equals the number of army Sentinel characters you control, so up to 4. I will only choose 2 characters, yours. So each of your characters will get a micro counter. At the start of the draw phase, KO each character with micro counters greater than or equal to that character's cost, then put a micro counter on each character with a micro counter.
Say that again? The last part?
Then put a micro counter on each character with a micro counter. At the start of the draw phase, KO each character with micro counters greater than or equal to that character's cost. Then put a micro counter on each character with a micro counter. Micro counter, micro counter, micro counter.
That's insane. Those are play counters that you don't have to do anything for.
Sort of. There are pros and cons to them. What do you have to do for play counters? Play counters just targets one guy, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's ludicrous.
Unfortunately, it probably won't matter in this game. I'll be kind of surprised if it does. But I'm doing it because it's threatening.
Well, I mean, you'll have my 4-drop in 3 turns.
It's so... Let's see. So, yeah, at the start of your next turn, you go to 2. Next turn, 3. Next turn, 4. The following turn, KO.
Well, why doesn't it start this turn? Why don't I get a counter immediately?
During the draw phase. It's very weirdly timed.
You can't play it prior to the draw. Okay, I get it.
Like, I could have played it before, but I wouldn't have been able to get Catwoman with it. And it's
weird. All right, well,
it's a weird card. We'll play through. I think it's
ever.
It does also have one other disadvantage over the play counters, which is you can actually use multiple clench viruses, and I cannot use multiple micro sentinels because I can only put the micro counters on characters that don't already have them. So I can't stack them up.
I think they would put 2. If you had 2 of them, they would put twice as many counters on them.
It actually says put a micro counter on up to X target characters that have... I guess it would accelerate the rate.
Yes.
I couldn't put one on, but it would accelerate. That's fair. However, that's currently not happening. Maybe I'll surprise you with it later. You don't know. Time will tell. It'll be great. And then, after that foray into exciting Topia, I'm going to attack you for...
Can I have 4 life?
Yes, you may have 4 life. And then my Sentinel Mark IV is going to attack you for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And we're stunned?
And we are stunned.
I will
4.
take 2 breakthrough.
You are quite popular this evening.
Yeah, it sounds like my coworker's car isn't starting. I don't know how it works so late.
Oh.
Let me check to see if...
Yeah. If you actually need 2
yeah.
Ada. Friend. That's an important thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want a coworker to be completely stranded. Just one of the coworkers I do know, or one I do not know. I know about a third of your coworkers. I think maybe a quarter. Quarter to a third. Yeah, because I think that's a fair assessment. It's just that it's a very bizarre clench virus that is much more poorly worded and awkwardly timed. Yes, so... it's funny, Sentinels sometimes does some really scary stuff, but in this circumstance, I think they're not going to do that. We'll see. I mean, there's definitely things that could give me more confidence in them, but right now I'm a little skeptical.
So I'm going to attack your 3-drop. That one, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I must attempt to reinforce.
Okay.
No,
please discard a card.
Well, it's when she stuns anyone.
Yes, I believe so. Is that not what I said?
I thought it was a breakthrough one.
No.
Sorry. Discard a card. I will discard another one of them, I guess. And then we'll take the 3 damage. I guess I'm gonna attack you for 2.
I'll take 2.
Sweet. That'll learn you. So, goodbye, Sentinel Mark 3.
Okay, I should take Glorith, which is not great. I should keep the counter on Glorith too, because it doesn't go away.
Oh my.
That's weird. What weird draw.
Hear ya. It is now your initiative. Okay, poor Sentinels. I think you're more generous than I am, Chris. This is a strange card for my brain to parse. Specifically the part about triggering at the draw phase on less than or equal to and then adding the counter.
How much for a plot twist? 3?
It is 3. That's correct.
I'm going to team up Future Foes and Arkham Inmates. Ongoing crossover those affiliations, discard a Gotham Knights character card, draw a card, use this power only once per turn. I should have more counters, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Ah!
I will be recruiting Mordrew.
Oh boy.
Whose power is Cosmic. Pay X endurance. Look at target player's hand and choose a card with cost less than or equal to X. That player discards that card. Use this power only once per turn and only during the combat phase. I will then be discarding Harley Quinn to recruit Ra's al Ghul. I may discard a Future Foe's character card rather than pay Ra's al Ghul's recruit cost. Return Ra's al Ghul to owner's hand. Unless an opponent discards a card, target character loses and cannot have reinforcement this turn. Use this power only during the combat phase.
Yep. I think this is the turn that the illusion of this being a game will be broken.
Maybe.
I am going to flip from my resource room, Reconstruction Program. I'm going to return up to 3 Army Sentinel character cards from my KO pile to my hand. I will then recruit them. And I will form like that, I guess. And real quick, let's see, Chris has made another observation. Yeah, it's interesting. For me, the reason I think that makes it harder to have things happen in that order is because when I think about the number of turns until something's dead, I need to take the number of counters something needs and add 1. It's like there's this extra mental step. I'm like, oh, and it equals cost, so I need to add 2 more counters to Glora, so that's 2 turns, but plus 1, it's really 3 turns. So, I mean, I don't know. I played it a turn late. Maybe I'm just bad at it because it operates differently, but I feel like there's an extra math step to the way I approach things. By the way, if I discard cards, boy, can I stop your activated powers. Like, I can do that so many times. Discard my whole freaking hand. It's so great. Boy, it'll be great. Show you. You should play some cards.
Right.
Get pinged a bunch. That's what I'd like to see.
I can't believe I screwed that up. I guess it saves me life. So I'm going to play from my hand Riddle Me This.
Oh boy.
Which I may do only during my attack step.
Which it is.
Exhaust a ready Arkham Inmates character you control. If you do, target player reveals 2 cards from his hand. Choose one of the revealed cards. That player discards that card.
I will reveal the Orbital Sentinel base.
Mm-hmm.
A very useful location. The Orbital Sentinel base A very useful location.
I will choose the Orbital Sentinel base.
So, is it this
that
one?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right, good. We were on the same page there.
Okay. Now I will pay 3 endurance to look at your hand and discard a card with cost less than or equal to. Like what I did there?
Mm-hmm. Just to ensure you could get something. Good choice.
That's a really good one. Don't want that.
It's really good.
Then, let's see. I think the correct thing to do is to return Ra's al Ghul to my hand.
Yeah.
Unless you discard a card,
Yeah.
Sentinel Mark IV loses and can't have reinforcement this turn.
Boy, that's a thing you can do. Yeah, I should probably do something about that. Or should I? Nope. That's okay.
You can't have reinforcement.
Yeah. I need my orbital sentinel base.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. You don't know, maybe. Maybe what I just did was brilliant.
Then, I'm going to attack that character with Lorith?
What?
I think that's correct.
He does get +1 attack at all times for each other non-stunned army sentinel character I control.
Uh-huh.
So I will get the stun back.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, that will work. I will take some kind of damage or something. 7.
So one breakthrough only.
1 is 5. 29. Yeah. I'm going to team attack Mordru. Because that's the sort of thing I do.
They're all plus a million?
They're all +1. So my attack is
Only
15.
+1. 15. I will, of course, stun the 3-drop in the middle.
Yeah. I'll take 6.
Going to attack the 2-drop.
Yeah. Joke's on you. I'm going to flip Orbital Sentinel Base and activate it to KO a ready army character I control. Boop. KO target stunned character. I will target Mordred. You may ready Catwoman. I will pass.
I'm going to attack the 3-drop in the rear.
What? That's a mean place to attack a Sentinel. I will take 10. And I must discard a card.
Just discard a card.
I'll discard Orbital Sentinel Base.
You have a lot of Orbital Sentinel base.
I do.
Orbital Sentinel base is fun to say.
It sure is. Getting less fun the more of them I lose. Yeah, that's it. That's the thing that occurs. I will lose the small characters so that I can keep the slightly larger but still ultimately very small character. What is happening? My initiative. Great. You already added your counters. I'm going to spend 1 to recruit Bolivar Trask. Comes into play, search your deck for an Army Sentinel character, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. I will search for...
Pop up covering what Chris is saying. Hopefully it's not important.
Yes.
I'm glad Chris is here. It's a lot more fun when Chris is here.
Me too. I'm not going to bother with that resource because I don't fucking need it. Hell with it.
I probably should not have clept Glorith. Clepping her was a bad thing.
Clepping her was questionable. So I'm recruiting Sentinel Mark V and paying his boost cost. When Sentinel Mark V is ready, Army Sentinel characters you control have reinforcement. Also, boost 1, Sentinel Mark V comes into play with 2 1/1 counters on him.
It's good Sentinel.
It's a good Sentinel.
I will be recruiting Mordru. And Ra's al Ghul.
And Ra's al Ghul, what? What insufferable gibber. I feel like we have been down this road before. You may do something with that. What's your life level? 20? Sure wish you didn't have more Drew.
More Drew than you?
Yes.
The most Drew?
Yes, the most of
the
Drews.
The Drewist?
The Drewiest of Drews. I think the correct play is to
enunciate
every singly letter.
Did you just modify letter with an adverb?
I can't rule it out. Boy, what a sitch. What a sitch. Sentinel Mark 4 +1 attack for each other non-stun army Sentinel character control, which is 2, so he's a 7. Should I have put Trask in my front row to attack with? That would be a sad tale indeed. Wow, this is not so good.
What? What?
So I guess I'm gonna attack Glarth for 9.
Okay. So he's no longer ready, which means
yeah, I think so.
Nobody has reinforcement.
Yep.
And if I play something from my resource row,
You take 4 damage.
I take 4 damage. That's a lot of damage.
That is when you have 20 life.
That's a lot of damage.
You have 20 life.
I think I should do it anyway. I'm going to play Chain Lightning from my resource row.
Uh-oh.
I'll take 4.
Uh-oh.
Play Chain Lightning only if you control a future foe's character, target attacker or defender. Gets -2 at defense this attack, and an additional -2 defense unless you discard a card.
Joke's on you, I'm keeping my cards. I'll take 4.
Your attack was 9.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
So I will take 6.
I too. Well, that was my attack.
I'm going to return Ra's al Ghul to my hand to remove from your 4-drop reinforcement unless you discard a card.
Alright, I'll discard a card.
I'm going to attack your 4-drop with Mordred.
Yep. Alright. That's the thing you can do. Well, I do have another one of these guys, which gives me +2 defense for each other non-stunned character with range I control, which is 2. So your attack is still 5 over me. Maybe I don't play that. Catwoman's worse. So I take 5 breakthrough and 4 for the stun. I think you got me either way.
Let me make it a little more interesting.
Sure.
I will reveal Kundian Worship.
Yeah.
While an opponent has fewer cards in hand than you, defenders he controls get -1 defense, and future foes characters I control have flight.
Fancy. Yeah, that'll still work. 1 more point of damage. So 5, 6, 10. I'm down to 2. Yeah, I think the difference between me losing and me losing by 2 more is inconsequential enough. We'll allow it. I will pass.
And then I attack your Catwoman. Yeah, that one. There's no other 3 drops.
I didn't. I heard drop. I wasn't Sure. Free side. I was hoping it was 1 drop because then I would be at a positive number.
That would be kind of silly.
Yeah, well, you know. Yep, I'm at -1. That was a very strange draw for Sentinels. I got all my linchpin cards except for Sentinels early on, and I'm like, I gotta keep this, and then I just did draw Sentinels for a bunch of turns. Well, that's not true. I top-decked some Sentinels, and then the late game just couldn't fill in, and it fell apart.
It was a strange draw for me, too. What deck would you think this was?
By the end, I had to conclude it was the discard deck.
Well, I have too.
I don't remember the distinction.
I have a deck that is a straight Future Foes deck. That will play cards like Chain Lightning often to say, hey, here's a situation.
Yep.
I'm giving you the option to discard a card or else I get some cool power.
Right.
This is not that deck.
Right, that one's the
this
true
deck
just because I remember you had Riddler.
Yes. This is a deck that is a crazy team-up deck that is designed around guaranteeing that you must discard a bunch of cards, usually by turn 4 or 5, and I didn't really do anything.
Yep. Well, turns out not really getting a 5-drop or a 6-drop will hold you back. I suppose you could argue I searched for a 5-drop on turn 7 so that I had something to play then, but on my very last turn I might have had a resource point spare to recruit my pinger. That would have made it 5 closer. I guess it wasn't even that far off. Like, if I recruited him and pinged you once.
I was doing really bad despite playing characters every turn.
Yeah, well, that is a little weird.
Well, this deck is not designed to fight.
Right, that's true. Well, clearly Sentinels wasn't either that game. Nonetheless,
I think we have time for another if you're still game.
I'm game, yeah.
Excellent. Since we do have a viewer, we don't want to let our viewer down.
We certainly don't want to let our viewer down.
I'm sure he's not tired, even though it's an hour ahead, 2 hours ahead.
Yeah, I would be wide awake if I were him and watching
some
us.
numbers of hours. Some number of hours.
Some number that is greater than 1 and less than 3. Well, I do have 2 remaining decks pre-selected. This one is the choice. The remaining deck is, oh good lord, 2 hours is the answer. This is a double A.
I think I heard part of a story on the radio.
About Kang? Because that would be
No,
awesome.
not about Kang.
I was really hoping it's about Kang.
About a proposition to remove California from daylight savings time, which I personally would really
that'd be great. That'd be great. Nobody likes that. So
nobody.
It's terrible.
Nobody does.
Not even, even farmers don't care about daylight saving.
It's not for farmers.
Wasn't it originally for farmers?
No, there are a lot of myths around its origin.
Interesting. Well, tell us share.
Its true origin was to conserve oil for lighting during World War I.
Huh.
You know, it was invented by the Germans, and we decided it was important and we should do it forever and stop asking questions.
Huh.
We do that with some things.
We do that with a lot of things.
What tier deck was that? I'm sorry.
It is a double A.
I went off and ranty down.
No. That was actually interesting information. I enjoyed that. If you're going to rant about something interesting.
That's a deck we just played. I'll count from the other end.
Yes, the other end. Yes.
I feel like this. I'm going to re-roll. I feel like this has seen play kind of recently.
That's fine. Fate laughs at you. For those not seeing, it did turn up a 0. Which, of course, is not a number of decks, Ian.
Hey, 7. We should play deck 7.
I want you to know I really wanted that to be a 3.
Oh, dear.
Uh-oh. For those who couldn't see what Ian did, which is everyone except me, he just shrugged with a comical smile of satisfaction and glee.
Wow, you way misread that. If you think I'm satisfied and gleeful.
Well, you may reinterpret for our diehard fans the precise nuance of that shrug. I was very far away on the other side of the table.
Satisfied and gleeful. 2 words that totally describe me.
I suppose that could also be interpreted as aw fuck, but I'm not entirely sure.
Even though the cards have been terrible, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, that last one.
They've been terrible in an amusing way.
Yes, I think so. I think so. Yeah, oh, look at that, man. You are killing on the rolls tonight, though.
Let me see. I need to go evens. I need it, Kyle.
Well, then we'll allow it, because we are here to suit your needs on this stream.
All right. That's what I want to hear.
I kept my hand and then immediately was filled with regret.
Good.
No. Mediocre.
I'm gonna dish my hand.
Moving on from whatever that was. You went evens?
Yes.
I have.
I have to share something with Chris.
All right,
Chris,
I will not look.
Chris, will you please look at the camera for a second if you are still paying attention?
You might still be around.
This is kind of amazing. I have to share what I have drawn here. Importantly, this. I don't know if you can see that. That is my opening hand there. It's that.
I may have to watch the stream later just to enjoy whatever that reveal is. So since you went
evens, yes.
I do actually have a 1. I think this is my first 1-drop all night.
Oh my god, is it Vertigo? I'm going to be so angry.
It is Count Vertigo.
Is
You're
it different?
okay. It's entirely different.
Oh, thank God.
Not even remotely related. He just exhausts characters. Return Count Vertigo to his owner's hand to exhaust target character. Uses power only during the attack step.
Okay.
Pardon me, your attack step.
Well, I've got Goalie. Whenever Goalie becomes stunned, each of your opponents loses 1 endurance for each face-down resource he controls.
Right. Well, I'm going to attack Goalie. Then we'll each take 2.
I'm going to take 2.
Yeah, I'm going to take 2, because Goalie. Crumble mutter.
Come on. This guy is insane. It is a disaster. It is an insane disaster.
Yep, that is correct.
It is disastrously insane.
Boy, is that correct.
I don't have a 2-drop.
Yep, me neither.
Excellent. Shall we do that again?
No, because you're going to attack me.
Okay, I'll attack you.
All right,
I'll
I take
1.
2. See, it works in your favor this time.
You take more than 2, I think.
Well, I take 3 because Goalie is a horrible, vicious monster.
Goalie
so much.
What is going on?
So much.
What is going on? What is going on?
I said, hey, yeah. I said, hey.
Yeah.
What's going on? I do have a 3-drop.
I tried.
You tried so hard. So I have the calculator. The calculator says return a character you control to its owner's hand. Target Villains United character you control gets +2/+2 this turn. It uses power only once per turn. I sure hope you also missed your 3-drop, because I could use that.
I'm going to do this. I don't have a 3-drop.
Cool. Alright, well, if only I weren't still behind because of Goalie. I'm going to take Goalie for 5. Huh. Well, what are you doing? Why are you doing more things? What is happening?
Whenever a character with a cost 3 or less becomes stunned, KO that character.
That's moderately disappointing.
Please don't have 1 defense.
Well, I have it on the board because I can pop him to my hand to do it, but it's costly. But I'll still do it. So I'm +2/+2.
So I will take 7.
And I will take
3, but I'm KO'd.
Man, things I gotta do to get rid of Goalie around here. Lose a character in 9 life to defeat your 1-drop. Alright, turn 40. That was a lot of Goalie.
You're a lot of Goalie.
Yeah, that's true sometimes.
Actually, that's a good one. And that's a good one.
I don't like that.
This might be coming around.
No, bad plan.
But which one first? This one. Right? So I will be recruiting Truck.
It's Truck.
Truck's power is Truck gets a +1/+1 for each face-down resource my opponent controls.
Just to be clear, when you say +1/+1, you do mean +1?
Yes, +1 attack.
Right.
Not +1 defense.
Not.
That would be crazy.
Not +1.
+1 attack.
Right.
For each face-down resource my opponent controls.
Yeah, that's fair. I do have Bizarro. Bizarro has a vengeance power. When a character becomes stunned with a vengeance power, he does terrible things. There's also some scat for those who are a fan of such things. Or maybe a little beatboxing. Whenever Bizarro becomes stunned, target opponent gains 4 endurance. I'm going to review my cards here. And they can do stuff. Maybe I can do stuff. Yeah, that's probably good. I guess that's good.
Gotta attack Bizarro.
You sure do. Your attack is 10, unless I flip
Unless you
stuff.
flip something.
It's gonna be 10. That sucks. I'll take 3 breakthrough and 4 for the stun. That is 7 damage.
In this situation, I would also usually take 4 for the stun, but I'm going to immediately gain 4 endurance, so I will instead take nothing.
41, I think. So now I'm down to, why am I failing at dice? I'm at 34. I'm going to attack you for 5.
I'll be taking the 5.
Yes. Get him, calculator. He's going to calculate you. Calculate you good. Yeah. This deck is also playing strangely, let's just say. Children, why? Boy, this draw is really just a strange mess. It's my initiative?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. So I am going to do this. I'm going to play Baddest of the Bad. As an additional cost to play Baddest of the Bad, return a Villains United character you control to his owner's hand to search for your effing 5-drop and recruit it.
That's oddly specific.
Very specific card. I'm more or less paraphrasing. I do think I have a choice, so I'm going to review.
I'm really glad the calculator's gone. That's helpful.
Yeah, I know. I'm really disappointed the calculator's gone. I'm sure I have another. Do I just have 1 5-drop in this deck? No, I do have 2. Interesting. That's a tough choice, actually. I think it's gonna be Mr. Freeze. So I search for Mr. Freeze, I reveal him, I put him in my hand, and then I recruit him. Mr. Freeze says, whenever Mr. Freeze becomes stunned, target character with a cost of 5 or less cannot ready this turn. There's a vengeance power. And I will form like this.
I'm going to recruit Darkseid.
Darkseid.
Whenever Darkseid stuns a character, its controller loses 1 endurance for each face-down resource he controls.
Huh. You did cut, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's a thing that you can do. Well, Mr. Freeze is going to attack Truck.
Going to be stunned?
I'm hoping not. I am going to play Watch the Birdie. The controller of target character, and I will target Trock, moves it to his visible area. That character gets -3 attack while defending this turn.
That's pretty good.
So currently Trock is as printed.
I'm having trouble getting out of this hole.
Get him, Mr. Freeze.
Reinforcing.
Alrighty.
That's too bad.
Alrighty. I assume you will pass.
I will pass.
They're almost attack Darkseid. I think that's my best play. And my only play.
So we will be stunned.
Yeah.
You will take 7.
Yep.
I will take 5, then gain 4.
Yep.
So I will take 1.
Pardon me, I do deal 2 points of breakthrough.
No, unacceptable.
So I would
take
deal. Yes. I do take 7, putting me at 27. But Darkseid is stunned. That is reason enough. Though I don't get to fire Mr. Freeze's power for sure here. Oh my, that was a peculiar set of cards. That was a peculiar set of cards. Is your initiative.
I'm going to recruit Batman.
Batman.
When Batman stuns a defender, that defender's controller loses endurance equal to that defender's recruit cost.
Yep. Yup, and yup.
I'll also take this opportunity
Yes.
to team up Darkseid's Elite and Gotham Knights. I may also discard a Gotham Knights character card to draw a card.
Yes. Cost 5 or less is one of your characters. Oh, interesting. Yes, that is true. The best play is not great here, but I still think it is the right play. 27. That deck can do. You're at
I'm not.
48.
38.
Oh, okay, alright, man. Oh, man.
Because I've taken no damage this game.
Except for 2 somehow. The 2 breakthrough from last turn, of course.
That's all I took.
I still think the right play is as bad as it is to recruit my 6th round. So that is Hunter Zolomon, Professor Zoom. Whenever Hunter Zolomon, Professor Zoom becomes stunned, ready, target character you control, that character cannot cause breakthrough this turn.
Well, I must team attack him.
Yeah, I thought you might.
It's not as bad as it seems.
Oh, it ain't great. I'm going to play a Return Fire. As an additional cost to play Return Fire, exhaust a non-defending character you control. I will exhaust Mr. Freeze. Or a Villains United Defender you control. I will still choose Mr. Freeze. The controller of target attacker loses endurance equal to his cost.
Ouch.
So I'll ping you for 5. And then... I'm going to do it again. This time
Ouch.
exhausting Zolomon. So poke. Then I will get stunned. And I will attempt to deal the damage to... Yeah, that's probably correct. His power fires whenever he stuns. Yeah, that's the right choice. So I will then get stunned for 6 plus 6 plus 2 from Darkseid. That is 14. And 13.
I think you can kill me right now.
I have not been paying attention to the math. And when he is stunned, I ready Mr. Freeze. Though Mr. Freeze cannot deal breakthrough this turn. You are at 12. So the correct choice is to attack Batman with Mr. Freeze. And try to emerge victorious. With the odds you have some kind of shenanigans. I will play from my hand Grand Gesture. As an additional cost to play Grand Gesture, return a Villains United character you control to its owner's hand.
Villains United.
Villains United. Target defender gets -3/-3 this attack.
Jesus. Yeah, you've got me. Man.
I returned my 6-drop to my hand to do it.
Crushing me today.
Well, 3 out of 4. You got game 3.
You were crushing me game 3 too. You were just not doing very well yourself.
That's fair. That is fair. What happened there? I feel that game was one-sided. I guess not. I mean, I'm at 13, so I don't know. Had you gotten that particular stun, it would have been very close, and I didn't have a way to prevent it outside of that.
You still would have won.
Yeah, I think so.
I can draw a card. I don't think it's going to help.
For anyone wondering, a printer just turned on in the corner of the room.
It did not.
A printer just started printing in the corner of the room. I'm sorry that it did not. I thought you were contradicting my statement about a printer turning on, and it turned out you were referring to your own previous statement of a card that might have affected something.
Oof.
And then I did again.
The night that Kyle just destroyed Ian's desire to play this game. What a series of crushing victories.
Except for game 3.
Still crushing.
a crushing victory for you that was your victory. But no, that was a rough one for sure. Villains United worked better that time.
Which happens at times. It's good that we finally recorded one of those. We were having too good a game.
We did have a really strong streak of just great cards. And this proves that they're not all roses. But that's alright. That's the nature of the beast. I do feel good about the very first game. Felt good that I had enough negative zones to fire that, and I waited on that for like a turn. I wanted to do it the previous turn, and I waited on that. Trusty Annihilus.
The first game was my worst draw, I think.
Well, that was the one that had the super 180. I don't remember.
Oh, maybe my second game was the worst.
One of them was really bad. It might have been the second.
Oh, yeah.
Really bad.
The first game was that crazy swing.
Yeah, that was just
scene.
bizarre. That was very strange. It was very odd. I think the first game was probably the best. I actually thought I was in a lot of trouble. I thought that what I was going to do was going to force you to do some stuff and might turn the tide, but I didn't expect it to be the momentum shift that it was. And you got rid of my Centurions right out of the gate, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I felt like I was in a hole, and then...
It sure didn't matter.
It sure didn't matter. I got enough negative zones. That's the secret sauce. Draw at least 3 negative zones, I'm fine.
We should probably call it a night. I think I'm due for a good cry.
I think so. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry the cards weren't a little better overall. That's always the worst part when you're sharing bad draws.
Yeah, okay. It was interesting stuff happened.
Yeah.
It was just frequently at my expense. For the record, this deck has only ever once beaten you, and it was during a very, very, very poor draw of yours.
Was it? It might have been against these guys. I think it might have been against Villains United.
I feel like this matchup happens a lot too for some reason.
Yeah, it is kind of weird how that works out. Maybe it's just our rotation of like, well, we should veto this one because it was seen recently, and you know, I go after what I feel for. Maybe it just works out that way.
I was gonna make a great play next turn.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get to see it. This is one of my stronger double A's for sure. It's a strong double A.
Okay, well, anything we got to say to our streamers before we say goodbye? Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Yep.
Always a pleasure.
Always fun to have some little extra Chris company.
Yeah, we talk about you a lot even when you're not here.
That's true.
Because you're the only one who knows what we're doing, actually.
Yep. You and that one guy that Ian knows that's a coworker.
We're not going to see you next week.
Not on the 19th, right?
Not on the 2nd. It's the 2nd.
2nd. Oh, yeah.
It was in the chat. I'm going to say it now.
How careless.
The 2nd is next Friday. And I mean, maybe Kyle will stream, but I certainly won't be here.
It's possible.
He's not going to be streaming from my account, though. So that's a ludicrous
so if I'm
assertion.
streaming, you sure won't know about it. Yeah, maybe one of these days. I got a couple of buddies who are trying to start it up. There's another guy at work who's just like, I'm going to start streaming. I'm like, why? And he's like,
Versus system or something?
No, it was something else. But just people starting up streaming. It's funny. He's just curious to get in it.
It doesn't hurt. Like, there's no harm. I happen to think we're entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm amused watching our videos.
Sure.
For the most part. Like
honestly, if just you're amused, that's all it needs to be.
I think there has only been one video that we've recorded in 9 now that I reviewed the following day because I tend to review them as I'm uploading them, that I wasn't riveted. So
right.
we're pretty solid on that front.
That's a good sign. Well, at least our quality bar is high.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Anyway, see ya. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Chris. And everybody else.
Good night, Chris, and
mostly Chris.
Fictional people.
Mostly guns.
Mostly guns. Oh, that's a good reference.